Hello, tubers and groovers, and welcome to this edition of Take the Fear Out the Gear with me, Jason Bangers.
And me, Mr. Chumley Warner. And today we're going to talk about a phenomenon called musical ear. Have you got it?
Does that mean playing like, instead of a plectrum, you cut your ear off and...
No, you
strings
got to hold the guitar up to your ear and just...
Is that what musical ear means?
Yeah. So, who has the musical ear?
Loads of people.
I think we've all got a bit of musical ear, but it just depends on whether you can listen to a song, whether you're playing bass or guitar, whether you can just pick out the root notes, maybe you can pick out the chords, or maybe you can pick out the bass line as well.
And are you pitch perfect? Some people with musical ears are pitch perfect, i.e. they can instantly sing an E or a C or an H.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to wind the clock back. And Jay's going to tell you a bit about his story and how his musical ear started.
I was born with it, and I didn't know anything about it. I found out when I was 5 years old that I had a musical ear. I mean, if you can imagine your mum and dad gets all your aunties and uncles round and they have a party, which my family did quite regularly, which was a good thing because there was always little bits of vodka to have and stuff like that when they weren't looking. However, someone brings a guitar round, and imagine a 5-year-old kid picks up a guitar. He's never even seen one in the flesh before. Imagine he just picks up a guitar, which is twice the size of him nearly, and he does that, and then he does that, and then all of a sudden he starts going, and the whole family all look around and go, "What the hell's going on?" Well, that happened to me. I held a guitar for the first time, and the first thing I ever played was this, which is just a 12-bar rock and roll thing. Status Quo dined out on it all their lives. So few eyebrows were lifted, and like, has he had lessons? No, he's never played a guitar before. He's never even held one. Don't ask me how I knew how to do it. I just knew how to do it.
And didn't your parents buy you a little keyboard as well?
Because of that, I wanted a guitar, and they couldn't afford a guitar, so they bought me actually I went in and had my tonsils out at the age of 5, and when I come out of hospital they bought me a little keyboard, as you said, and it was one of those things with a fan in and it blows like air through the reeds, and I was given this keyboard again. I'd never played a keyboard in my life, and straight away I played Amazing Grace on it. I don't know why that tune I played, it must have just probably been on an advert or something. My mum and dad sort of looked at each other and were like, wow, we can play a keyboard already. Anyway, so that was my first musical instrument, really, was a little keyboard. I went to school, nothing at primary school. We didn't have any music lessons or anything at primary school. Went to secondary school, so at the age of 11, I had my first music lesson, as in music class. All the class would go in, and the teachers sort of like got these guitars laying around and stuff like that. And I just happened to pick one up and start playing it. And this teacher sort of looked at me and she said, "Oh, who are you having guitar lessons with?" Her name was Miss Alford. She wasn't married then. And I said, "No, I've only ever played guitar once before." She said, "When was that?" So when I was 5. "So who's taught you to play that?" I said, "Nobody." She said, "Hang on a minute. Have you ever seen one of these?" And she come out with a glockenspiel, I think that's how it's pronounced, isn't it?
Yeah.
One of those hidey ding ding. She said, "Have you seen one of them before?" I said, "No, what is it, miss?" She said, and she gave me these 2 little sticks. She said, "See if you can play that." So I heard the notes, and then I played the same thing. I went sort of like a rock and roll bass line. I sort of played on it. And she said, "Oh my God, I've heard about this. She said, "Quick, come over here." She sat me on a piano. She said, "Have you ever played piano before?" I said, "No, but I had played an organ." But then I played piano, not very good, pretty badly. But she said, "This is amazing. I've heard it." So anyway, my teacher then burst into tears. She said, "You've got a musical ear." So she explained it to me like that, and that was when I found out that I was just naturally gifted and could play sort of any instrument as long as you don't have to blow into it. There's only one wind instrument I can play, and that's the harmonica. I can't play a saxophone, although give me one and I'll learn it, probably. But I don't know what it is. Most people I know who got musical ears can't play trumpet or saxophone. I think the scaling is all different, and it's just weird.
It's a different beast, the old woodwind, isn't it?
Totally different beast.
Didn't your teacher used to drag you into classes to demonstrate instruments you weren't too impressed about that?
Totally. I hated maths. I hate geography. every now and then there'd be a knock on the door. Can we just borrow Jason for a minute? Mrs. Miller was our teacher at the time. And she said, yeah, take him, because all I'm doing is disrupting the class. My music teacher, she would come and grab me and put me in front of a class of 11 to 12 people, maybe more. And I would demonstrate playing guitar. Now, how I was supposed to let them know that I was playing it without knowing how to play it, I couldn't understand. So I used to get so embarrassed. What I used to do was put my blazer over my head. I'd say, look, I can play it without looking at it. Or close my eyes, it doesn't matter. You don't need to be able to look at the thing when you play by ear, because you just feel your way around it. Now that to some people might be pretty amazing, it might not be. So to hide my embarrassment, I covered my face with a blazer so they couldn't see my blushing cheeks, and would play guitar. Now some of you people out there might be watching this and going, I was at one of them listening to Jason, I remember that. And it's nothing, you just don't need to look at the thing, you just feel your way around it. So this happened frequently, then it happened regularly, every day, almost every lesson. I sat in front of a class of kids from other houses. You know, we had 4 houses in our school: Philip Moran, Aylwood, Nuffield, Ryder, Churchill. And I was playing to strangers. I was gigging practically every day at school.
Awesome. That all good practice.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it developed. And then from then on, I never really mastered an instrument. Let's say, I don't believe anyone can anyway.
No.
But it's tricky being this talented, if you like. Hate saying that, 'cause I don't dig it. But I can play guitar to a standard where I can play in a band with it. I can play bass to a pretty high standard where I've played in theatres and shows. And drums I play to pretty decent standard. Can't read a note.
And that sort of brings you on, because you're talking about maths. Obviously, like me, maths isn't not my thing. However, when I was looking on YouTube, a bass player on YouTube, he was autistic, and he looked at all the frets as patterns and shapes.
Well, that's exactly how I see it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, because you mentioned that earlier.
Yeah, everything to me is like a letter H. Don't know why. But see, if I do this, if you was to join them dots, that dot, that dot, that dot, that, if you join that dot to that dot to that dot, put a little line across, you'd have a letter H. And everything I play, whether it's 4 frets, 5 frets or 2 frets, to me it's like a letter H. It's weird. I can't explain it. It's something you can't explain. If you want to get a better understanding of it, go on YouTube and type in Sparky the piano. I want to give you a demonstration, so without any edits, detune that guitar.
Okay.
Just detune it. Just twist them any way you like.
Yeah,
And I'll attempt to tune it by ear, without any tuner or anything. But not only will I attempt to tune it, I'll attempt to get it in concert pitch at 440, because I can hear it in my head. Hang on. Right, let's see what you've done.
Well, I don't know what the tuning is. I've just twiddled them randomly, so they're probably...
I swear on my dog's lives, we haven't done this. We haven't practiced this or anything, though. Oh my God.
That's pretty bad.
Quick as that. Try a bass guitar. Knock it out of tune, Si.
Yeah, and we've got a tuner on here, so we can...
we can check how close I get to concert pitch. So there's been many an occasion when we're on stage and people are tuning up and they're panicking. The tuner's not quite reading the guitar or anything, you know, and everybody likes to tune silently, to be honest with you. But the only way you can use that technique that I've got is if you can hear it. You can't do it by feel or vibration. You've got to be able to hear it. So if someone hands me a guitar and says, Jay, quickly tune it up for us, I'll go bish, bosh, bang, and within a few seconds it's done. Then they can fine tune it from there. Do you know what I mean? So I've got to try and... Oh, Christ. to sing because I stopped wincing. I'm not sure if I'm in concert pitch. Right, let's find out. I know you can't see this on the screen, guys, but... Whoops, that was a bit hard.
Spot on.
That's perfect.
Can we get that in the camera or not?
I can try.
Yeah, that's...
Oh, hang on. There you go, look. When you get 2 arrows, it means it's perfect. If I hit it hard enough. There you go, 2 arrows. But one thing I will say, mums and dads, if you're having a child sent for guitar lessons, for God's sake, make sure that the guitar tuition guy or woman teaches your child how to tune a guitar. First lesson on a guitar needs to be how to tune it up and understand why it's tuned that way. Because if you don't, they will go home and practice what they've learned on an untuned guitar, and it ain't going to sound anything like it's supposed to. So if they learn a bass line like this, and it's going to sound like this if it's not in tune. You know, what good is that? It's no good to anyone.
I suppose the other thing as well, obviously, if your children are practicing along to one of their favourite songs, if your guitar's not in tune,
it's going to be painful, isn't it?
Or they might be thinking, oh, I'm playing this all wrong. Well, they might be playing it right, but because the guitar's out of tune, it might sort of knock their confidence, thinking I'm playing it wrong. Where no, actually, just tuning the guitar would be perfect. Right.
My armpits are actually kicking up. That's real.
So now we're going to try a little experiment, see what happens. So what I've got here, I've got my iPhone, and it's plugged into the PA. So I haven't chosen anything, so there's nothing pre-planned here.
What is the purpose demonstration? What is it you do?
Well, I'm gonna play a song, and we'll see if Jay can get the bass line.
Well, I know a lot of songs, dude.
Well, I'm going to try and pick something you maybe haven't played before.
Or even heard before.
Yeah.
Because if I've heard it, I'll be able to play it probably. To a degree. I'm not saying don't go picking John Patitucci doing a mega slap bass.
No.
Or something like that.
I've got one here.
It's often I find it easy to play a song in a roundabout way, but getting a bang on is not always so easy. So he's going to find a song here, and I've got to try and play it.
I think this was. Well, we'll see what happens. This could be a little bit difficult. I don't know.
If I know it, I'll tell you. I mean, if I've heard it before.
Right.
I'll be honest.
See if it'll come up.
Experience YouTube Premium.
Go to the adverts.
Don't want adverts. We can't put any edits in either, so I can't cut that out. Is this it?
No.
Another advert.
Here we go.
I know the song. It's Temptation or Could It Be a Night? Just an Illusion.
Yeah.
I've never played it in my life though. I thought it was a synth bass on this, isn't it? It's a synth bass.
I know.
Just this riff?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Well, I haven't got a fretless. Is that right?
I've rewind it. Here we go. I'll rewind back to the start for you.
Was that right?
That was the verse bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It changed slightly, I think.
Yeah, I know it goes, but did you want me to learn? I can't play.
No, just this first bit. Just this first bit. That sounded good to me, man.
Yeah.
That was good. And that was a little bit naughty of me because I knew it was a synth. That was I think it was a Moog synthesizer.
And so did I the second I heard
Which
it.
makes it a little bit harder rather than actually listening to a bass guitar. But that was good, yeah.
I'm like that anyway.
But as long as you hear the first note, isn't it? That's then you're away.
Yeah, root note is the thing. So all I need is a root note. So if a song starts there, I'm away. Now on guitar, this is a guitar, but this is a bass guitar. But on 6-string guitar, away, because I've never been taught guitar. I know a lot of good guitar players. I know Phil Hilborn, he's a good friend of mine. I like to think he is, Phil. All right, Phil. I love you, brother. I could have gone and paid and had lessons with Phil, but I've never had money. I couldn't afford it. I couldn't really afford guitar lessons, so I had to do it myself. And although I had a head start to play on guitar, I always wanted to be able to play guitar where I can play almost any song. And I don't mean like perfectly, just a root note chord behind the structure. And I found out with just 2 fingers, which is like leaving out the third, if you like. So without playing that one, they're just 2 notes. Which is again is my theoretical 8-shape system, which won't make any sense to you guys. But if something's in A, I can go to A and just do that. And if you want, you can just bar chord that A, right? But if you know chords, which I don't, you can play an A here. So that's the proper chord of A, if you like. I don't know what that is, an A diminished minor. I have no idea, I haven't got a clue. But another thing I found out just the other day is when I play F here on the chord of F, if you play that in a position, up here on the 5th fret, which is A, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? This is just my way of working it out. You got your bar chord, you got your 2-finger thing, and if you play the F chord shape here, you get an A as well. And it doesn't matter where you play it. I don't even know what note that is, what key that is, but I know if I do that. So I've 3 different versions of playing the one note. I know I've got a talent and ability. I totally don't appreciate it. I should. I think if you're a multi-millionaire and you buy a Rolls Royce, it ain't no better than going out and buying a sandwich for someone like me. When you got something, a gift, that people would kill for, and you don't really appreciate it, I think it's a real shame. I think whether you appreciate it or not, you should definitely use it. And that I have done.
Yeah,
They were crazy as well, like I am.
well, we're all crazy.
I mean, I stapled my bollocks to pieces of wood for fun. How many people do that? I'm not right. That's pretty obvious, but I'm just not right.
Yeah, but it's a it's a good talent to have, and I mean not the stapling, the actual playing the music.
Yeah, I think.
And the thing about listening to it by ear is, if you look at music, or if you look at, say, a lot of people use tab, which is another way of finding bass lines and guitars, it doesn't actually really tell you the rhythm of the song, and that's half the battle. So if you can listen to it via ear, you can hear that rhythm, and you can get it right.
All right, what does that mean? Because you've often said to me, can I tab this? Well, you've said to me, play it slowly and I'll tab it. What is it? What's the difference between tab and music reading? What's the difference? What does that mean?
Well, on music, obviously you've got the stave and you've got the musical notes.
I honestly don't know. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah, you got your treble notes. If you like piano, treble notes will be your right hand. Left hand will be your bass notes, which would apply to your bass guitar. So you could see the notes, you could see the time. And when you tab stuff out, it's basically saying you look at your fretboard on your guitar. So, and you got 4 lines.
Oh, you're marking where your fingers go on.
Exactly, yes. Okay. On a bass guitar, you got EA, DG, you got 4 lines.
Oh,
so
well, I thought that was music. I thought that was reading music. I thought that's how it come up.
No, that's tab.
Oh, right, okay. Shows what I know.
But if you look at tabs you get loads of tabs on lines for all different songs. But if you look at the tabs, they'll tell you what notes to play. But the thing that if it's an easy song, it's easy. But if it's a difficult song, they won't tell you the rhythm. And then you
Right.
can read the tab so you know what notes to play, but then you still got to have
You
some.
mean, is it whether it's a 3/4 or 4/4 or 16? Is that what you mean, or
Just when you it's like the rhythm of a song, isn't it? Like rhythms that you go there's a certain rhythm, and on the tab they will show you the notes, but they won't go.
Won't show you the
won't
pushes.
go. Oh, there's
Right.
by the way, there's a. You won't give you the rhythm. So that's the thing. So
That is an excessive bass line. There's a hell of a bass line. Norman Watroy, you naughty, naughty boy.
yes, I might be able to play it one day.
I can. I'm lucky because I can play it. And I've actually pulled a bit out of that song that a lot of pro bass players I know haven't heard. Let me demonstrate, sorry. Anyway, there's a bit, so it goes. Now this bit here, now you got to do that fast. Now a lot of bass players just go, but it ain't how it goes. It actually does this. Right, it's an acoustic, it's hard, it's up on it. But that bit there just is an example of really how useful it can be. Don't forget to click subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell. We've enjoyed your company, guys. This is me, Jason Bangers from Take the Fear Out of Gear, saying goodbye.
And me, Mr. Chumley Warner, saying goodbye.
We'll see you next week, guys.
See you next week, Goops.